I'm not sure if there's an optimal time, but I'm really glad you asked that question, because what I used to hear time and time again when I used to talk about mediation, particularly when I used to talk about mediation with representatives from the other party to the dispute, and often people would say to me, well, we quite like the idea of the mediation, but it's too early yet to think about mediation. And often the reason that was given was, oh, well, we need to develop the issues a bit more, we need to exchange pleadings, we need to deal with disclosure, and then the issues will crystallize, and then we can mediate. And for me, I found that hard to understand why they would think that way. I don't think that was necessarily right in all cases, maybe in some cases, but in the vast majority of cases, it seems to me that parties are clever people, they're sensible people, they know what the problem is, that's why they're in the dispute. And the longer it takes to get to a process whereby they can actually resolve their dispute through, for example, mediation, it just means that more issues have developed over that time, and more costs have been incurred, and more management time has been spent. So all you're doing is expanding on the issues that then need to be resolved in mediation, rather than thinking actually, what is a quick, effective, and commercial way to resolve the problem. So the idea that somehow you have to wait before mediation becomes the right thing to do, I think is not necessarily the right way of looking at it. So I would always argue, and certainly it was my style and my way of doing things when I was in private practice, to get mediation in the conversation, literally at the first meeting almost with clients, to talk about the range of options that were available. Ultimately, it's up to the client. The client has to be happy that mediation is right for them. But that's why explaining what it's about and the process and how it works, and giving the client all the information that they need to make the right decision for them, and certainly not waiting until the case is really well developed or mature before you start talking about mediation, I think is a really important point.